Hello again. All these books in front of me are the same book, aren't they? But actually, no, they're not. Of course, the text is the same, the title's the same. When you read the book, the ideas that come from the book, depending on which one you choose, the ideas will all be exactly the same. But the books themselves are actually quite different, aren't they? The one here is the hardback. The one in the middle is the one we finally decided on and got printed here in Thailand. And this one is proof copy that we tried with a different paper. So what I'm going to talk about today is why are these books different? First thing to think about is the actual size of the book. The bookshops don't like big books. This is a big book, big heavy book, and they didn't like it, and they brought that to our attention. What they like to do is sell more of these sorts of books because the economics are simple. If they sell this one for $15 and they can sell 3 of those size for $10 each, then they've made more money with the smaller book. And it's the economics of the book size that determines really how easy it is to get your book on the shelf in the bookshop. The smallest way to have your books is this, a Kindle. I've got about 1,000 books on there, but it's not the same as a real book, is it? Very convenient for travelling, but I like to hold a real book. So what about the size of the book? I'm a big fellow, so that if I get a book this size, it's pretty easy for me to hold, but a lot of people would find that much too heavy. So why is this book so big, but the one we got printed in Thailand pretty appreciably smaller? And of course they're smaller than the hardback. Why is that? It's the same text. Well, the answer is the paper. All book paper is measured in grams per square metre. That's a standard measurement of the weight of the paper in your book. And this one is 80 grams per square metre. And we tried to experiment with that, but we thought, number one, the book becomes too heavy and the paper is a little bit stiff, although it turns out that European readers seem to actually like the stiffer paper. Anyway, when we had the book printed in Thailand, we went down to a slightly flimsier book. This paper is 65 grams per square metre, GSM. And so that makes a really big difference in terms of the weight and, if you like, the readability or usability of the book itself. There are very many types of paper, and I'm not going to go through every one. What I'll do is, in the comments below this video, I'll put links to the various sites that help you understand all the different kinds of paper. But fundamentally, papers come in 2 sorts, coated paper and uncoated. Coated paper takes the ink and keeps it much more on the surface, whereas uncoated paper absorbs the ink and it gives you a softer feel. This hardback book is manufactured, this is an Amazon book, an Amazon print. It's manufactured with coated paper and it's slightly shiny and it has a slightly bluish, I don't know if you can see that, a slightly bluish look to it. This paper is uncoated paper, it's warmer and it has a creamy look to it. We chose a creamy paper which again is softer on the eye. So those are the 2 main choices, but there are literally hundreds of choices to make depending on what kind of book you're going to write. And from a reader's point of view, it's worth thinking about what paper the book's printed on, because that makes it more comfortable to read. This is another kind of paper that's favoured in Asia. It's called green reed and it has a greenish tone and it's very lightweight And the thing that I find difficult about it is that you can almost see right through it. So the text on the back page, you can just about see. I don't really like it, but it's a very popular paper here in Asia. The final thing to say about paper is the sort of paper that you choose for the cover of the book. And again, I think if you're a reader, it's much better to have a decent cover that you feel is protecting the pages of your book. From the printer's point of view, they want a cover that will, of course, again, support the book itself, and it needs to be able to support the design work on the cover, the pictures, and so on. This is coated card, so it's not too heavy. It's a bit plasticky, but I think it does actually do a good job of protecting the book. So these are the things to think about, just in terms of the physicality of the book. Never mind, we're not talking about the text or what's written in the book. As I said, the text is exactly the same whichever book you buy, but it is worth really thinking about which kind of book you enjoy. A hardback book, much more expensive, but is going to last you, of course, a lot longer. If you're a big fellow like me, you might want to put up with the stiffer pages and you can accommodate the heavy book. But I think for a general reader, this is the right kind of book. It comes in at 506 pages. The final thing to say is we've listened to the bookshops. We understand their point about number of books on the shelves and how they can maximise the revenue from their bookshelves. Gateway to Gandamak is one volume, but inside it has 2 books. So what we're going to do to meet the requirements of the bookshops is to publish each book separately. That's the first book and that's the second book. And we'll do that with new covers and some editing of the content. We're looking forward to these 2 new editions with new artwork on the covers. I hope you'll enjoy them too. Please give me a like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and see you next time.